Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Rotoworld Football Show. It is Thursday, July 17th, 2025. I am Patrick Daugherty, joined by Denny Carter and Kyle Dvorchak. Training camp is nigh. Second-round picks are actually signing contracts. Good news, everybody. Second-round picks are going to play football this year. So that's really good. That's a nice development in the fantasy football world. So we think it's a perfect time to jump in, do a live draft, playing for real money. $25. I drop that like once or twice an hour on these best ball drafts, so it's no big deal. It's totally fine. We debated before the show who was going to draft. Neither Denny or Kyle even wanted to at all. So
it's so much more fun when you draft, if I'm being honest. Like the peanut gallery job is the funnest and easiest job while you panic through 18 rounds.
Let me be clear. Denny did actually volunteer to draft, but I said no.
That's true.
I said, hell no.
Yeah, right. I was like, I'll do it. And you were like, well, what if you did?
I was like, Denny's reception's breaking up a little. I guess I'll just do it. I know. So I'm going to draft. But first, before we draft, we have to talk about actual news. ADP bombshell. Rashee Rice. A lot of the legal eagles in the community were saying nothing was going to happen until 2026. Spoiler alert. We're barely even halfway to 2026, and it happened. 5 years probation, 30 days in jail for Rashee Rice. They can apparently be served at any point during those 5 years. I guess that's good work if you can get it. Like, the bad news is you're going to jail. The good news is you can do it whenever for some reason.
You can choose.
Yeah, my pet theory on why this surprised us so much is that he was offered, frankly, well, like you said, like seems like a really good deal given how stupid he was and what he did. Like, seems like for the point he is in his career right now, like 30 days, 5 years probation doesn't really affect, other than the NFL suspension that's likely coming, doesn't affect your ability to play football materially. And in the 2 years of your career where this is like the performance you need to maximize your earnings, I feel like he snap called that plea deal. They were like, we want to offer you this. And they're like, wait, no negotiation, nothing. He's like, nope, give it to me. I'll take that. So pet theory as to maybe why this materialized so quickly. Whereas, like you said, the legal eagles, the people trying to read the Twitter reports seem to, myself included, think this was coming next year.
It seemed like it was coming next year, but Kyle, it's this year. The suspension is going to happen. The question is, how long is it going to be? Do we have a good read on that? We did not have a good read on the legal aspect. It's very difficult to ever get a read on the NFL aspect. They kind of just make it up as they go along. Denny, have we heard, like, how long might it be? What's your best guess? And if you don't know, Kyle, what's your best guess?
Well, ESPN's Adam Schefter mentioned 2 to 4 games. That seems to be the ballpark that we're talking about. But again, like, that could be delayed. That could be set for next season. It's really hard to say at the moment.
It probably will not be delayed or set for next season because the delay is
Schefter had said as much, that he couldn't guarantee it, obviously, but he did say that it seems like it's happening this season. I thought I've seen the number 2, like 2 to 4 thrown around a lot. 2, given that like he is going to jail, 2 seems like a very optimistic projection. To me, the baseline is 4. I would pin it more into 4 to 6, especially for like fantasy managers where zeros really hurt us, just burning spots away on our roster. Like, I'm kind of playing much closer to 6. Like, I would set the line at 5.5. Wow. I bet the over on that. I need the juice.
I mean, that's devastating. Like, I mean, that makes him undraftable even in the range that he's going.
The range he was going in was just patently absurd before, where I was debating this with Corain on his draft yesterday. And like, I absolutely love when someone plays 3 games, wrecks their knee, and then their ADP skyrockets.
Dude,
like,
they
while
were
a
such
first
a good
round
3
pick
games, though.
Breaks out down the stretch, and like, Hollywood Brown, say what you will, he is healthy now. It was just one of the most interesting skyrocketed ADPs I had ever seen in the history of fantasy.
So for a guy who has never had anything nice to say about Hollywood Brown, suddenly you're like, well, watch out for Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, Denny, get him, Denny.
Listen, just because Hollywood Brown has never been good doesn't mean that matters.
He's on your never been good Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
like,
he is actually on my never been good Mount Rushmore.
But suddenly Rashee Rice has to watch his back. Him
and Kyler on my Mount Rushmore together. By the way, should I join the draft? No. What do you?
Yeah, hop in. We can riff for a little bit more.
So I'm doing the Yappy 9, the BBM 6 is what I'm entering. Let's see here. I hope I have enough money. I'm hitting enter. You'll be entered into this draft. And
it's because you recently took some money out. The
It's
account
true.
was too big.
Well, I was gonna say it's like
says
you're so wealthy. It's like when you ask billionaires like how much is a banana, they're like, I don't know, $500. Like you don't have that concept. You're the same way. Like, what's a BBM? I don't know. As long as I got 2 or 3 grand in my account, I typically do.
I should be able to swing it.
25 will be deducted from my balance, and it didn't say what that balance is. Really high though. Really, really, really high. I might actually be in tax trouble. I haven't done anything with my winnings from last year. All the winnings that I have. From playing season-long best ball contests, large field best ball contest with all the sharks. Yep. I swim with them and I take them down. But we're waiting for this to fill. And nope, we're not waiting for it to fill. It's filled. The draft starts in 45 seconds, which means it's a really good time to talk about the British Open, which I was watching this morning. They're not suffering quite enough, but the greatest golfers in the world take on the unrelenting elements of Northern Ireland in pursuit of the claret jug. It's the Open Championship live on NBC USA and, of course, streaming on Peacock. Tune in all week at 7 a.m. Eastern, including the final rounds on Saturday and Sunday. Now we have the fourth member of our podcast joining, which is the circular saw in my yard. I'm sorry if you can hear that. But did you guys know, by the way, so the promo tells people to tune in at 7 a.m. This thing came on USA at 3 a.m. Central this morning. Were you up, Denny?
I woke up to go to the bathroom. Sorry to be specific here, but at 4:30 a.m. and I had the thought, I have to admit, should I simply stay up and go watch the British Open? Because I used to do that as a kid. As a teenager, I would get up at 4 or 5 in the morning and I'd start watching. And I thought, you know what? This is going to set a bad precedent. If my wife knows I can get up at 4 a.m. to do this, I'm going to be getting up at 4 a.m. to do.
Wow. That's some 4D chess that you're playing there. That was some real 4D chess. Yeah.
So I hit the brakes on that. I went straight back to bed.
Don't do once what you're not willing to do for the rest of your life. That apparently includes taking Jamar Chase at number 1, Justin Jefferson number 2, Puka 3, CD 4. Someone take a running back. They took Bijan at 5, Jahmyr Gibbs at 6. We're at 11. Which isn't great for podcasting purposes. We're gonna have a lot of back-to-back picks, and
I love that.
Which equals
if only we had 3 people who could fill endless amounts of dead air. If only there were a way.
So the only question is, will Kyle strong-arm Pat into taking Ladd McConkey in the first round or the second?
I'm all in on taking Ladd. By the way, What are we thinking here? We're getting close. I'm not taking CMC. I can tell you that if he falls. Neighbors, Cousins. Collins, ARSB, as he's known, Ashton Genty, BTJ, as he's known, Derrick Henry. They're the people who's on the board. Neighbors is going to go. Kyle, can I say I'm not taking Collins? Would I get canceled, revoked immediately if I say Nico's on my do not draft list?
Wow.
Why? Maybe provide some more information.
Just anytime you can draft someone in the first round who instantaneously is going to miss 4 games with a calf injury. I feel like you just
That's not a valid excuse. That is not a valid excuse.
Terrible.
The guy who injures his calf every year. I'm sure he won't do it again this year. Absolutely love to get. All right, he's gone anyway. Thank God.
Dang.
ARSB. I'm going to hit smash draft on.
Oh
ARSB.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'll let it time out into ARSB so we have a little more time to talk about our second pick. Do we do this ARSB and then BTJ? Or can we take the Genty or Derrick Henry plunge? What do you guys vote?
I say Genty.
Yeah, Derrick Henry's only burned me every year if not drafting him. It couldn't happen again. So
No, it can't. No, the 9th year has to be the one where I'm right.
We're martingaling this one.
Genty or BTJ or
BTJ.
Ladd? Can we do Ladd?
BTJ.
Thomas.
You said BTJ. All right, here we go. Hell yeah. I don't know. Are we scared at all about Brian Thomas Jr.?
No.
Well, let's see who's been added. Real quick, I'm going to just get out my bifocals that I don't wear. Let's see who's been added to the number 2 overall pick now plays his position. You're not concerned about that at all, are you?
Nope.
Not concerned about that
Although
at all?
I do want to admit to the folks, to you guys and our listening audience, that I am a total fraud who recently had a best ball stack on DraftKings of Thomas, Travis Hunter, and Trevor Lawrence. So I am a
DraftKings thanks you for your donation.
I think I did this bit a week ago, and I'm just going to do it again. For all the terrible, god-awful takes Pat has had this offseason, nailed another ADP one. You guys talked about Travis Hunter. This was like a month ago now. And Pat, you were like, this is the fever pitch of the hype. Like, we will come back to earth at some point. And he is falling on all platforms. His ADP on DK has plummeted. And maybe it goes back up. Like, maybe we get like a fun preseason highlight. Although I don't know entirely that he would even play in the preseason. So you just nailed the ADP movement on that. You nailed it on McCaffrey at some point this offseason as well. So kind of been our ADP whisperer for a few months.
Well, some things are so obviously insane. I feel like the Rashee Rice one was so self-evidently insane. Like, I'm sorry, even if you think he's going to be amazing, like at some point you have to take red flags into account. And again, I've never once seen a guy play 3 games and next year he's like on the round 1-2 borderline. He has like 9 career good games, a second round pick.
Yeah,
there's way more competition than there used to be. And we've decided that's an absolutely perfect time to skyrocket.
I think the one thing that I can buy in to your argument here is that Xavier Worthy, they figured out how to use him late last season. Like they finally figured it out, and they really had no idea early in the season how to properly use him. So maybe with that factoring in, it does mean that Rashee Rice is not like the elite option that he was.
Real quick, we have a user comment. If you're a user, we don't usually share comments during these, so don't get upset if we don't share, but this one was too good not to share. Does this contest give points for pass breakups? Travis Hunter down infinity. He is a cornerback is the main problem with Travis Hunter when drafting him as a wide receiver.
But I mean, look Travis Hunter is going to have one cool highlight in training camp, and his ADP is going through the roof.
Let's be real. Let me be real on Travis Hunter. Guy looks small. He looks small.
He looks very small.
He looks scrawny.
He's a bit spindly. Yeah,
he's spindly. He makes Xavier Worthy look strong.
Yeah,
I don't know about all that either, but
Xavier Worthy looks strong.
It is something. It is not.
That's my only takeaway when I say he seems like a real good guy. Seems really good at the game of football. He plays 2 positions. But boy, is he small. Boy, is he spindly. Boy, are we almost on the clock again, and we have 2 receivers. Kyle, when do we take our first running back in these drafts? Is round 7, round 8? Terry McLaurin, nope, never doing it. JSN, I would do. Quarterbacks here. Brees, who I'm really into. What are we thinking, Kyle? Top of the board. Terry, JSN, Brees, Mike Evans, Jaden Daniels, George Kittle.
No, we got to take Hampton over Brees. Come on.
Kyle, what say you?
Just double tap him. I think this is a spot where it really makes sense to go running backs. There's like 2 very clear breakout, or for like Brees, a re-breakout essentially bets. I truly wouldn't brush back against us doing both of them. Like we'd have to allocate our draft capital a little more smartly down the road. So this is like 2 clear RB1 bets. I don't think there's a problem at all double tapping running back right here.
We just timed out into Brees, which was my plan all along. And now Omarion Hampton. Omarion Hampton, another ADP where I've been like, RB14, huh? Really like when my RB14 has never played in the NFL and his backup was just given $5 million. But I think the real lasting legacy of the Najee Harris eye injury is that he's turned Omarion Hampton's ADP from one that was like not quite delusional, but I would say not really necessarily grounded in reality, into like a much more realistic proposition. And that obviously if you were drafting Omarion Hampton as the RB14, you were assuming Najee Harris was the 1B already, and that the Gus Edwards role. But you might have been assuming like 10 to 12 weekly touches for Najee Harris. Where I feel like now, if Omarion Hampton comes out, rocks the first few weeks of camp, he could be looking like a 6 to 8 carry. A Gus Edwards role for Najee Harris would make a huge difference. Yeah. I think make that RB14 ADP Denny a lot more palatable for Omarion Hampton.
Yeah, I agree. We got a report yesterday that said Hampton's going to take on the bulk of the lead back role with Najee Harris on the NFI list. And also, I'm really not trying to be,
you're trying to be glib. You're going to be glib.
I'm not trying to take this lightly because it's a serious situation with Najee. I hope he's okay.
But now to be completely glib.
No glibness. There's
just
say
something horrific. Just
But when you have to go to a specialized Stanford doctor,
I know,
for your quote superficial eye injury, then at that point I stop believing it's superficial, right?
I know.
It's a serious thing.
Well, he's a rich guy. Rich people are, of course, going to go to a specialist kind of doctor. The Chargers are spinning it like he went there. It makes no sense to change his care at this point. I mean, ongoing care for an eye injury is not typical unless it's somewhat serious. And I will say there's zero indication from any party involved Najee will not be ready for week 1. And not to be glib, even if one of his eyes is still damaged heading into the season, it's not that big of a deal from a football perspective. Like he's gonna be playing football, I think is the ultimate takeaway. But from fantasy, you can't. It was a situation. I keep making this point. He did not need to give Omarion Hampton any more runway than he already had.
Right.
And now he's given him even more runway than he already had. And if Omarion Hampton comes out and in the first week or two of training camp looks ready for the NFL, which stands to reason if you use a first-round pick on a running back, you're thinking they're probably ready for the NFL. It's just not good. Najee didn't need to leave any daylight, and he's left a lot of it for Omarion Hampton. We're almost back on the clock. All bad players. Travis Hunter, top of the queue. Are we going to do the funniest thing of all time and make Travis Hunter?
We can get the stack Denny was just talking about.
Yeah.
Like, this is it for Trevor. This is the year where it all comes together.
Zay just went. Oh man, I kind of wanted.
So I do think that if it's going to happen, it's going to happen with Liam Cohen. I trust Cohen to at least be a good play caller. I don't know about a head coach. I don't know about all that.
Calvin Ridley just went. Travis Hunter is top of the board.
Yeah,
take him.
Hunter's an easy one. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, the number 2 overall pick at receiver, and we get him in the.
He's not a receiver.
He is a receiver.
Buddy, I got bad news for you.
He plays cornerback.
I'm supposed to be the one coping. I'm not coping anymore.
I'm going to be crying and coping the rest of the show. We now have Travis Hunter, Joe Burrow, RJ Harvey, Chris Olave, Travion Henderson, Juwan Jennings, Jordan Addison, Chris Godwin.
Okay. All right. Can I just say?
We got to take somebody. It's going to time out. Who do we take?
Oh,
Kyle.
Olave.
Oh my God.
No.
Are you serious?
No.
Brother.
RJ Harvey.
I think if we take RJ Harvey there, we are starting to push up against, like, I think Travis Hunter is very clearly a second half of the season play. In the same way that, like, Omarion Hampton, Pat kind of described his ADP early on as aspirational, right? You're expecting RB14 is the cost. He starts hitting RB9, RB7, RB6 in the second half of the season. Like, you just expect you kind of take a little bit of a haircut early in the season, but you really start to pull away in the second half. We should project that for any rookie, let alone a two-way wide receiver corner. So I do think we have to kind of pad in a little bit of more early season, easily projected points. And we just don't need that at running back right now, but we could legitimately use it at wide receiver. I just picked top of the queue. I do really like Chris Olave, but if you guys wanted a different wide receiver, I could have gone with
Olave. It's impossible not to sound glib when you're talking about concussions, but like Olave, I think amongst big time fantasy football players in 25 has the most severe injury concerns of any player this year. And I would say, honestly, some of the most severe injury concerns in like recent fantasy football history.
Yeah.
I mean, ironically, the one player who
he's in a one-hit type situation where it's I feel very bad for him, but it's like it's not a situation I'm generally looking to take on in fan. It's a little bit easier in best ball where it's not real fantasy football, and I don't have to do anything. I don't have to set lineups or anything like that. When he has good games, he gets automatically inserted in my lineups. But in redraft, you have this luxury when you're talking about managed leagues and you're not trying to win large field contests. In redraft, you could not pay me to draft Chris Olave. I would say. To
me, the one player that, ironically, I think this really resembles was Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks had very severe concussion issues early in his career, and it was to the point where, like, we were talking about, if he takes a concussion, he's a player who you just have to project when they take that hit, that concussion hit, they're probably out for longer. Their team should protect them. They should protect themselves.
Kyle, it's changed even since then because of now the endless returns from IR. Now, like, the teams, even if they don't want to, like the Dolphins didn't want to put Tua on IR, but they felt deservedly so. They felt public pressure to do it. And now those players, I feel like it's just an automatic 4-game IR stint. It also kind of plays into the logic too.
But then Brandon Cooks just never took that hit again, because hits that cause concussions are like relatively rare in the sense of like how many main fantasy players do we lose to concussions every year? It happens, but it's not like every player is losing 2 games. It's the risk that when they take that hit, like the risk is higher that when it happens, it's going to hurt a lot for fantasy purposes and obviously for Olave in real life, but not like the percentage of players who are just in the concussion protocol in terms of like wide receivers every year. It's not a particularly high percentage. It's just that like when it hits for him, it's going to hurt more. But his probably most likely outcome is that he doesn't get concussed. No player's most likely outcomes, they do get concussed.
We are almost back on the clock. Denny's guy, Steph Diggs, just went. Josh Downs, Patrick Mahomes, top of the queue. Kyle, can we smash draft on Josh Downs? Or
Brother, you don't have to ask me.
Yeah, no, you got to go.
Downs is one of the picks. Then it's Mahomes, Aaron Jones, B. Rob.
Can we?
No, Downs just went. Oh, no, we're screwed. I'm down for Emeka, and then we could go for a running back. Mahomes doesn't serve any purpose on this team.
No Mahomes.
No, what? You sure?
No.
Can we do Mahomes?
No.
Well, we just took Ibuka. Okay, we got 19 seconds. Mahomes, Aaron Jones, Brian Robinson. We're not taking Judkins. T.J. Hawkinson.
Pittman.
Oh.
Pittman?
I vote Aaron Jones. This is terrible.
Okay, I'm going to go Aaron Jones, actually.
Thank you.
Kyle's talking.
I don't understand what's happening. You guys have admonished me for years for liking washed old running backs. And suddenly you're in on Aaron Jones.
I don't know I'm in on Aaron Jones. I just want to do Pittman.
I'm trying to be cool.
You're trying to be cool with Michael
This is a
Pittman,
fantasy football podcast. You're in rarefied air. You're an expert, and you're saying to take Michael Pittman. That's what you're really
be serious,
saying.
Denny. Grow up.
Michael.
We have
Pittman,
standards on this show.
Michael Pittman has every chance to outproduce Josh Downs this year. Every chance. I'm sorry.
Made me spit.
Listen, you don't want to hear it. The nerds don't want to hear it. No one wants to hear it. But let me tell you, Daniel Jones is going to make sure that happens.
What Denny is saying is, all right, it's time to come back to reality. What Denny is saying is unfortunately all too true.
I don't think Pittman was like a terrible pick.
Daniel Jones is not going to like a cool player.
No, he's not.
No. Josh Downs.
He's going to force, like Pittman's going to be triple covered. And Daniel Jones is just going to be patting the ball, waiting for the smallest opening to force it to him while Josh Downs is wide open 4 yards away from the line of scrimmage.
Right, well, Josh Downs, does some sick Antonio Brown impression. Wow, I didn't even know. I've never seen hips turn that fast, Troy. But he forced it into double coverage to MPJ, the second pick of the day. And Daniel Jones didn't even used to throw that many interceptions. Say what you will about him. Yeah. And now second of the day to MPJ, the only receiver I've seen him.
And Pittman goes into halftime with 14 targets, a Colts record at halftime.
I guess we should give Michael Pittman Jr. a little credit for maybe playing through a broken back last year.
That was so wild too. Adam Schefter reported that he was going on injured reserve, and he played the next week.
He checking quote did play through a broken back.
He did, and he just mentioned it offhandedly, right?
He did. That's kind of
the way I broke my back this season and continue to play.
All right, well, we don't have a quarterback. We don't have a tight end.
But we got to mark Trevor Lawrence.
We have 5 receivers, none of whom are good.
And we got to mark Brenton Strange. Let's complete the Jacksonville stack.
We got Brees, we have Omarion, we have Aaron Jones. We're fine.
And Tootin.
All right. No.
Get Tootin in there.
Yeah, cut his mic. Please cut his mic. Please.
You're going to have to cut my mic too, sir.
Yeah.
You're going to have to cut my mic as well.
Listen. If you're going to go in, you got to draft like you're correct, right? Mm-hmm. Well, if we're correct on the Jags, we're going to crush this thing.
All right, we are 2 picks away. Jalen Warren, Justin Fields, Keon Coleman, Tyrone Tracy, Rashid Shaheed, Trey Harris, top of the queue.
I am going to leave.
Prescott?
If you take Tyrone Tracy, I'm leaving. I just want
I'm not taking Tyrone
Producer
Tracy.
Adam, I have no choice. I
wish I could put him on the do not draft list. Okay, we're on the clock. Does anyone have any ideas here?
I mean, it's not the most clearly correlated stack, but if the Jets score a bunch of points, if they figure stuff out with Justin Fields, just going to want your Jets.
Oh God!
So,
yep. All right, he's there. Justin Fields is in the queue. We're making the worst team ever.
You know what's crazy about Fields is if you don't stack him with Garrett Wilson, there's really nobody else.
There's not, except for Breece Hall. Keon Coleman, I frankly like Keon Coleman this year. Is this
my vote here would be Trey Harris, but Keon's fine.
We'll go Trey Harris actually. Has he signed yet? Was he part of the second round waterfall?
No, he's getting the bag. He's holding out for it. And you're going to be excited when he does sign.
The Stewart guy from the Bengals is going back to college.
Wait, what?
The second round pick who won't sign?
No, I know who he is.
He's been working out with his Texas A&M.
I don't think he has announced he's going back.
He's not going back to college. Yeah, let's be real. No one's ever doing that.
Yeah,
guys, no, it's happening. It's going to happen.
No, it's not happening.
This guy refuses to play for the Bengals. He'll never play a snap.
You know what is happening is the Tour de France. The Tour de France daily recap is at 7 p.m. Eastern on the NBC Sports Now channel, where you can enjoy extended highlights and stage previews with special episodes of Beyond the Podium. The NBC Sports Now channel is available on Peacock, Samsung TV, the Roku channel, and more. Visit NBCSports.com. .com for more details. I was expecting a slash there is where I got tripped up. I am Ron Burgundy, anticipating a slash that does not exist. But yeah, the Tour de France, oh boy, we'll talk about a special crazy event. Almost as crazy as a best ball draft. We have Justin Fields, Breece Hall, Omarion Hampton, Aaron Jones, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, Chris Olave, Emeka Ibuka, and Trey Harris. We are stacking Jaguars and Chargers without the quarterbacks. What do you guys think? What's the next move for this team?
Wait,
I was going to mention that I like that Trey Harris sets us up for a little bit of like, what if Justin Herbert's good? Like, think in your mind. Imagine
he's not,
what
if he were?
what?
All right, well,
wait.
just think about the regular season. Ignore all of the – we don't play in the wild card round. So you ignore all the iconic wild card round losses they've had. Pretty good.
Is Trevor Lawrence still available?
Definitely.
Why are we talking about that, Denny? Of course he's available. Do
Okay.
you think someone's taking Trevor Lawrence?
Why are we talking about it? Because we have two guys who are going to take in 73% of his throws this year.
Trevor Lawrence ADP of 132. We're going to be up around 130.
Okay, we can't not take him.
Yeah, he's lock him in. Lock him in.
I'm sorry, Pat. I know this goes
It
against.
does. I'm adding Herbert as well too, in case we get sniped on Lawrence.
Yep.
Then we'll get Herbie.
Good stuff.
God, that would suck.
Trevor, I mean, even the Jags press corps is admitting, listen, he might not be good. Like this has been the entire Jaguars press corps has been like gladiator defending Trevor Lawrence for the entirety of his rookie contract.
I don't know about that, man.
I'm starting to see some cracking in the facade. Like, listen,
Pat, I feel like every time I've seen a Jags beat writer ever for the past 4 years or however long it's been, they've been like, he's elite. He's one of the best there ever was. There's no question.
There's no question. By the way, there is some question whether we get him.
No.
He's fourth in the hopper.
They won't take him.
They wouldn't do that to us. These are good, wholesome people.
Third in the hopper.
Come on, baby.
2 away.
Get there.
In the hopper. He's not getting there. He's
Get
not
there.
We can just double up here with Bashal Tootin, as Denny pointed out earlier, too. Like we want the Jags offense to be firing.
Yeah.
Duval.
All right, take him out of the queue. The stack's ruined.
That it really was like I feel like the Jags would have been.
Oh, okay, good. He's there.
They got two. They still Tootin from us, but
Tootin went. Lawrence is there. I'm going to let us time out into Trevor Lawrence. So who's our second play? Kyle.
I think
Williams?
we probably go tight end here. We've got quarterback covered relatively, but we have nothing at tight end. I know obviously we have some tight ends down the line.
Can we take Likely way ahead of ADP?
Yeah. I don't know about way ahead. Well,
can we take Likely?
I vote against it, but if you guys want to ruin this good team, go for it.
133, ADP is 140.
Go with Goddard, man. Go with Goddard.
Goddard?
Uh-huh. Go with God, brother.
My God.
Don't do Likely.
Do we need to take the first backup tight end in the 12th round?
Yeah.
Listen. Let me be clear. When I hear a coach say, I want an all-pro season out of the backup tight end, I'm not really sure he's being viewed as a backup tight end anymore. And, I don't know. I love to be the backup to the guy who, quote, ruined the season last year.
I have you on record admitting that Mark Andrews was still good last year.
I know. Well, when I wrote our Ravens fantasy preview, I'm like, surely Mark Andrews was good was bad by some advanced metric in every computer.
I know. No, the computer loves Mark Andrews.
And the thing is, he got even better over the second half of the season, and that his efficiency marks got a bit better. Last year was a down year for him in terms of yak. He's not a major yak producer, but I still think that's like a good measure of probably physical talent. Early in the season, his yak completely fell off. And then over the second half of the season, he started to look like regular Mark Andrews at the same time that his routes were increasing. Typically, if you tell me an old player is getting better over the second half of the season, I'm probably thinking like, the team's basically curing down their targets, their routes in terms of what can we squeeze left out of this old player. They actually just upped his route rate. They upped his target share over the second half of the season and still got more efficiency out of him. So that tells me a little bit, at least, that maybe it wasn't purely an age-related, you cannot come back from this kind of decline.
It was, but yeah, you were making a really good point. Maybe. I was barely listening because I had to mute myself. There was a circular saw blaring into my.
Yeah, why'd you hire the circular saw juggler for today? You're not even going to watch it.
Listen, drainage issues desperately needed to be fixed, folks. Is all I'm going to say. The prices are not extortionary. We're 7 picks away We have Justin Fields. We have Trevor Lawrence. Many are saying it is the most quarterback room they've ever seen. They're not saying what kind of quarterback room it is, but it's the most quarterback room they've ever seen with Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. Breece Hall, Omarion Hampton, Aaron Jones, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God, BTJ, Travis Hunter, Chris Olave, Emeka Egbuka, Trey Harris, Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert, that pick, I maintained my will to live surprisingly long for a best ball draft until the Goddard pick. I know.
Yeah, why do you hate Goddard so much?
Yeah, why do I hate guys who his own team doesn't want him? He never plays football. When he does play, he's never good. He's third on the target tree.
So good. He's so good when
he's so good.
He's so good that 9 games. He's 30. Has he ever played more than 9 games?
It's best ball.
I'm sure he's hit 10 once.
Right, we're on the clock. Back up, Trey Benson, Shough White, Tyler Allgeier, Jack Besh season, Josh Palmer. What do we think?
Fine with that. Oh, we're Brenton Strange season, so drop it in the queue.
Yeah. There you go.
One.
Strange is in the queue. All right. Thank God.
Thank you.
Thank God we noticed that. Tank Bigsby is also there, by the way.
I'll pass on that one until the next time we're on the clock.
What do we think? Trey Benson?
I'd be fine with that. Way past ADP. That's
absolutely
like 18 picks.
Yeah, I'm not absolutely. That's going to be a no for me, dog. Except for it's going to be a yes because we're going to time out.
No. It's Allgeier.
You make a pick.
Allgeier?
It's Allgeier.
Sure,
I'm doing Benson. Nope. Allgeier.
Allgeier is one Bijan injury away from being like running back.
The guy who's horrible might be good if the guy who is good gets hurt. I love it.
He's not horrible.
He's not.
In fact, we need to get him to.
If
I'm saying if he gets on a team that needs a running back, needs a starting running back, he's elite. Remember Michael Turner when he finally got out?
You don't bring up Michael. You think Kyle's heard of Michael Turner?
Of what, the Chargers, right? He got, and then he went to the Falcons and went ballistic.
The Atlanta Falcons, Falcons.
That's Allgeier.
Kyle, did you know who Michael Turner was?
I didn't know who Michael Turner was. I did not know who Chargers Michael Turner was. So that gives you a timeline of where I'm at.
Was it the Chargers? Are you sure,
yeah,
Denny?
Yeah, because he was behind LaDainian Tomlinson, and I remember being like Turner's better than Tomlinson, obviously.
Oh yeah,
Denny, you know what that checks out. That sounds like something you would say.
Denny was clearly right about that. Yeah, I think most people.
21-year-old me was like Turner every time over LT.
Most people today would agree Michael Turner had a better career than LaDainian Tomlinson.
Producer Adam said I get 0.5% of Allgeier's salary every time I mention him on the pod, and I will not confirm and I will not deny that.
Seems unethical.
It does.
It's especially crazy because there's no cap. Denny has been at like 207%. Allgeier's like, I have nothing left, and you're like, I keep mentioning you. I don't. That's what the contract says.
I know. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to read the team.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
The most quarterback room of all time: Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Breece, Omarion, Aaron Jones Sr., Trey Benson, the Sun God, Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, cornerback, Chris Olave, Emeka Egbuka, Trey Harris, Dallas Goedert, Brenton Strange, circular saw.
Circular saw.
These pipes aren't going to cut.
This team's good. I like this team.
The saw has never been more circular. And by the way, they're building even more furiously after seeing Pat's underdog account.
Yeah, I'm claiming that they're fixing my drainage situation. This is actually the dollar zone. They're really getting going in earnest on the dollar zone, cutting steel beams behind me.
Man, good luck with that. Who's up here?
Jonnu, Roshan, Juan
nope.
Rico, Darnold, Michael Wilson, Jalen Knoll, Diami Brown, Nick Chubb. No good players. This is who's up here. But
I mean,
I'm putting Jonnu in the queue.
Why would you? Don't do this to yourself.
Why not?
What is your fixation with these backup tight ends?
He's going to be a tight end one. He's going to be a tight end one. He's going to
might not be a tight end on his own team.
You heard it here first. He's going to be a tight end one.
Anybody
have a better idea?
Do we want to do Diami Brown? Just get disgusting.
Roshan, I would do Roshan here.
Yeah, Roshan is a good poor man's Allgeier. I'll put Roshan top of the queue.
Miles Sanders?
No, I don't hate Miles Sanders. Like
I like him.
How badly do we need a fifth running back?
We do not need one. I wouldn't. Or no, we don't.
Jonnu's top of the queue. Do we do Diami?
Diami.
Yeah, we might as well.
We should do Jonnu, guys. I'm actually serious.
I don't want Arthur Smith's backup tight end. I'll pass on that.
First off, he's not Arthur Smith's back. Arthur Smith does two things. He gets a job Then he acquires Jonnu Smith. That's what he does.
You know what,
he
Pat?
backed up Kyle Pitts, who was
Let's
terrible.
go. Let's go with Jonnu.
We missed our.
We missed it. Thank God. He backed up Kyle Pitts, who Arthur Smith hated and is bad.
No, well, first off, it was the beginning of the end of Kyle Pitts. You may remember the Jonnu Smith began there when he got 600 yards, and everyone's like, "Oh, how can the backup be more productive than Kyle Pitts?" And, we learned several lessons.
You guys are a little more tapped into the fantasy discourse on social media than I am. Are people still saying that Kyle Pitts is good or no?
No, you don't get much of that discourse anymore.
No,
being honest.
They finally people have finally at long last.
Okay, good.
At long last.
I mean, so
we're one highlight away though from that changing.
Rotopat,
I can get back in.
Rotopat said as much the second he was drafted. The second he was drafted, Rotopat was like, he's not good. I don't know why he's drafted.
Well, you may remember the take. I didn't share it till a year later. But my friend and I, after he was drafted, shared a text exchange. Let me be clear. I was too afraid to share this theory he was drafted. We had a text exchange on draft night. Like, this is the kind of pick that gets entire front offices fired.
And like you should have shared. Don't be afraid to share those. You'll catch heat for a while, but then no one will remember you said it, and you'll never get the credit.
And somehow Terry Fontenot remains. By the way, he's not been fired.
Man, that I don't know.
Can someone else talk? They're sawing.
Yeah,
sure. Let's pull up the team. Let's look at. We could very easily go another quarterback. Like, I like Fields, I like Trevor Lawrence, but we didn't spend a ton to acquire either of them. Like, I could be talked into a really disgusting quarterback.
Is Cameron Ward available?
I feel like we needed a third tight end. I'm sure Cam Ward is. No, shoot, he's not available actually. Danny Jones, Tyler Shough, Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, Joe Flacco, the Browns' fourth-string quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, Jalen Milroe.
Before we're up, can I get games played projection for Tyler Shough? First, Pat, how many games? Just
11.
Denny?
7.
I hate you both. I'm at like 6-15.
Yeah, it's at least double digits for sure. I put Daniel Football Jones top of the queue.
Yeah, I actually think that's the move.
We have Shucks. We got Olave, right? So Shough would be a stack if we're looking for pairing some of our players with our other players.
You sold me. That's all right.
Yes.
I've always been a Tyler Shough fan.
And you know what would have been better? Daniel Jones to Michael Pittman Jr.
I know. Good thing we avoided that.
Man, you guys are the worst.
Shough is top of the queue. Let's just be real. This team.
We could use a tight end too, so maybe give that.
I can say we could have used. I don't know, Jonnu Smith.
No one could use Jonnu
Dallas
Smith.
Goedert, who's not going to play, and Brenton Strange, who may or may not be good. All right, Shough is top of the queue. Which tight end are we going to take? Dalton Schultz, Juwan Johnson, Pat Freiermuth, Theo Johnson. Oh my God!
I can't. It'd be very funny if I tried to sell you on Pat Freiermuth, but I can't.
Dante Thornton.
Thornton's a fun pick. He's not a good pick, I'm sure of that. But
no,
frankly, Darius Slayton is a good pick. Like, Darius Slayton is going to go out and get 600 yards.
No, someone sold him to me as like a great stack with Russell Wilson. If you think that Russell Wilson will hold on to the job.
No, that's a terrible idea.
Someone who sounds like they cannot wait to get 7th place. And whatever.
Why would Russell Wilson hold the job?
They cannot wait to get 7th place with their.
I don't know, guys. I feel like it's the Russessance, and you guys are not in on it.
What does that even mean?
18 or 20 rounds, by the way.
18. We locked up a team.
All right. Wow, we're done. Boy, that went by way too fast.
Yeah, they maybe compared to the last time, so they shortened the clock a little bit. But
yeah, they did. They're down to 20 seconds. What's this all about? 30 was too long for you sickos?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, they got to get all 7,000 drafts in.
Yeah,
they do. So we got our team in. Let's see. It's Justin Fields. It's Trevor Lawrence. It's Tyler. I can't even read this. Tyler Shough. For some reason, it made so much sense when we did it too. Yeah, Shough, obviously. Breece Hall, Amarion Hampton, Aaron Jones, Trey Benson, Roschon Johnson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter, Chris Olave, Emeka Ibuka, Trey Harris, Diami Brown, Darius Slayton, Dallas Goedert, Brenton Strange. My first takeaway, we needed a third tight end.
Yeah, we probably needed a third tight end.
We could have maybe swapped Slayton for a third tight end, but we all kind of agreed that the third tight ends were just terrible.
Can I just say that the pick? Okay, let's go through. What's the worst pick? And I'm going to start. It's Trey Benson, worst pick.
Trey Benson's never been a good pick ever.
can
in any format, at any cost, he's not.
This guy, like James Conner, would have to miss the season, and whoever else is on that depth chart would also have to miss the season for Trey Benson to even get a sniff at the lead back role. They don't even like him. They don't even.
Kyle, why do fantasy managers still like Trey Benson so much?
I mean, he was a day 2 running back with a decent profile, and the guy ahead of him is like 31 years old and has a pretty lengthy injury history. And it's a good offense to be in for rushing production. Like, they are efficient enough passing, but not to the point where they want to do it a lot. They like running the football, and they're good at running the football. Like, this is what really good offense in terms of like fantasy production for the running back looks like, is your passing attack can get the job done, but your team really wants to run the football, and they're good at that too. So obviously it's very conditional. Should anything happen to James Conner, I think the draft capital spent on Benson would dictate that he's at least getting a lot of the carries. I kind of agree with you, Denny, that like we probably see Amari DiMercato or whoever they want to choose as their third running back getting in on passing downs. But like young running back on a good offense for rushing production as a cheap handcuff, I get the bet. I do think, to your point, Denny, I'd really love to have the bet be I can get every single touch. But like, we have to pay for those guys. You have to pay up for the Zach Charbonnet price when we know you get every single touch if the starter goes down. There's a reason he's 30 picks ahead, is because we have that certainty. So I maybe agree that he's like one of the weaker picks. I would just frankly, we should have swapped Slayton for a tight end. So that would be my bet as to the worst pick, because it was so functional for our team to have a tight end there. But I get the pushback on the Benson pick.
Kyle, listen, I'm going to get that close to the mic here. You just described Tyler Allgeier as the guy who would get all of the touches.
I think maybe we could have gone Allgeier.
We could have maybe gone. To be honest, this is actually not a bit. My emotions got the best of me on that one. Like,
was that the pick, Pat, that you just overrode?
Yeah, I couldn't give Denny the W on that one.
No, I know. Yeah, my Allgeier fanboying it has turned you guys off to the extent that you are completely irrational about the Atlanta backfield.
I like Allgeier. I think he was the pick.
My emotions got the best of me. That was just in a very emotional situation. The Bijan wars, like that still, some of us are still fighting it. Some of us have not given up on the Bijan wars.
Pat's still in a foxhole on the island. He's not come out yet.
Doesn't matter that we've won.
I mean, Kyle, you won. You won. Like, just call
At least he admitted it. At least you admitted it.
It's over. He's not that good, but he's good enough.
What was it? I don't know what I'm doing. Duval.
By the way, for folks who don't know what Pat's doing with the Duval thing, when Liam Cohen was introduced as the Jacksonville head coach, one of the beat writers was like, "Hey, can you give us a Duval?" Right? Because this is something they do. And for Duval County, which is the home of Jacksonville. And so he gives a Duval that Pat did perfectly just then. That actually it like quieted the room. People were like, "What?" Wait,
I also think it's given us great ADPs on the Jags. I think we're still doing like 3rd, 4th round Travis Hunter, and we're doing still like 10th overall pick Brian Thomas. We're getting Trevor Lawrence as the QB 11. He's the hype guy this offseason.
QB 11.
We're doing all that kind of sick stuff. If Liam Cohen doesn't artificially ruin the ADPs of all those players by being such a goofball.
I am doing a perfect impression of it. Denny's least favorite pick was Trey Benson. Kyle, what was your least favorite pick?
I will say Darius Slayton, who I even said was like a good pick in a vacuum, but we needed tight end there, and we should have recognized that we don't play in a vacuum.
Very interesting. You talked me into that very quickly,
and then you said it's the worst pick.
Well, I mean,
the tight ends there were so ugly.
Were we going to take Dalton Schultz? I mean, yeah, seriously, like what were we supposed to do?
That's kind of how I feel. What were we supposed to do? Maybe the right answer is still tight end, but like I didn't want to do it.
My least favorite pick was not taking Jonnu Smith. I think I've done a full 180 on the Jonnu thing. Art is a believer. No one on the Steelers believes in Freiermuth, by the way. Like I feel like this is a weirdly underplayed storyline. Like the Steelers, any opportunity they have to not feature Pat Freiermuth.
So I may have mentioned this stat in a previous podcast when Jonnu was dealt to the Steelers. I agree, Pat, that there is something to a coach just desperately wanting a player in his system, which Arthur Smith tried twice, not once, but twice to acquire Jonnu Smith from Miami, right? And he finally got his way. So that makes sense as a factor, and I'm not dismissing that. But, I look back at his time in Atlanta with Jonnu Smith, and Jonnu Smith was only targeted on like 17% of his routes. So, like, he wasn't like a priority.
Well, I think that was because they were kind of making it up as they went along. And then even Arthur Smith was like, we got to make a good faith effort to feature Kyle Pitts. And then he just wasn't good enough. And I think the Jonnu thing kind of organically developed. And just now he fits what the Steelers need so badly. Like Aaron Rodgers is going to get the ball out the second fastest in the league probably after Tua Tagovailoa. They have no one to throw the ball to. Absolutely no one. He's a good short area target who can actually tack on extra yards. He's not just falling down. Or Jonnu probably not getting back inside the top 12, but I think he's going to end up being one of the higher end tight end twos, where he's more falling to like the really low end tight end two range. It's kind of my take on it. Do you think he outpoints Pat Freiermuth? You two? His ADP is higher than Pat Freiermuth still.
Yeah, I'm going to go no. I don't think he does. I just think he plays like the Isaiah Likely or the Jonnu Smith highly used backup tight end role, which like maybe it would have been fine to draft that guy, but it's just a very untraditional style of player that we typically don't see put up a lot of fantasy points. And like last year was a really unique situation in which the Dolphins, who were still really good at passing short, they were able to go out and find a de facto slot receiver in Jonnu Smith. I don't really know that we'll get that same kind of usage. I think it'll look more like what we saw in Atlanta, but probably on an even worse team, a more disgusting run-heavy team that I just don't want to be interested in.
That take also makes sense. It's going to be a really fascinating one. And it's going to be one, like I say, really fascinating, like one of the second-tier fascinating ones.
Yeah.
Other ones that's not deciding any fantasy leagues, but maybe deciding arguments. And maybe only one argument, because maybe no one else agrees with me. And like it's already been decided that Jonnu is no longer an entity. I don't know. Overall, what do you give the team? Like, is this an advancing squad, you guys?
I mean, if the Jags hit, yeah, we're advancing.
Never mind. Let me tell you what will not be happening. The Jags
I don't know. I feel pretty good about it.
I do feel good. I love having Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think Amon-Ra is going to lead the league in targets this year. I'm worried about BTJ and Hunter cannibalizing each other. I guess I should say there's a lot of people like me who only focus on the Chris Olave bear case, like kind of the pessimist players. And again, the ones who aren't building huge portfolios. We're just not dealing with Chris Olave. So I just don't even consider the positive case. The positive case is that, wouldn't be the most insane thing in the world if Chris Olave was a top 12 wide receiver. Like it's not
back-to-back 2 yards per route run seasons since he entered the NFL. Garrett Wilson has none such seasons. And like Chris Olave's environment has been, quote, better, I guess, because Garrett Wilson played some pretty bad teams, but like, dude, he was catching passes from Spencer Rattler and Jake Haener last year. I know he missed a lot of the year, but like these have also been some really bad teams that he's been super efficient and super target dominant on. So to me, I sometimes like, especially at that point in the draft, I'm comfortable betting on talent and guys who are as efficient earlier in their career and earn the ball as much as they do earlier in their career with good pedigrees are guys I just want to bet on when they're discounted.
Yeah, Chris Olave, he's going to be a hinge point player in fantasy drafts this year. I do, obviously, I think the bear outcome is more likely, but I talk so much about the bear outcomes. So I don't even consider the bowl outcome, which is a lot better than I think any of us thinks. That probably puts a bow on it. We needed a third tight end. We needed Dallas Goedert and Brenton Strange. I don't think they're bringing home a trophy. I don't think they're adding to my just absolutely enormous.
Strange has a pretty good profile, I gotta say.
He does, but I appreciate it. But I try to be a modest guy. I like that underdog didn't show. Didn't show
didn't show all the zeros on that.
Yeah,
it would be
actually. By the way, I think they did.
The listeners don't need to have that rubbed in their faces, and so we appreciate that.
The listeners don't need to know that I have $20. Andrew Jackson, never heard of him. I got a 20. That's all for today's show. We hope you enjoyed drafting alongside of us. We hope you'll enjoy on Tuesday when Denny and I are going to do Take Two with Patrick Crane. He's landed in the city of San Diego, California. He is home. Air travel has successfully worked for him. So for Denny Carter, for Kyle Dvorchak, and Patrick Daugherty, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week.